Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. Before you enjoy the following production, there's just a few things I'd like to get out of the way first. Starting off, I'd like to thank all our Patreon supporters, especially our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Cat, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. If you'd like to support us, you can do so on our Patreon at patreon.com/fsfilms, as well as by following me on Twitter at Johnny Bates, following and subscribing to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Senstaku, on YouTube, youtube.com/Senstaku, and on any of our podcast feeds, links to which you can find on my Twitter account. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope you have a good time. Bye.
And we're live. Apparently they can't hear you guys, which is... You can only hear me. Sorry about that.
It's mine. Just
Testing.
yeah. Sort of.
People say words.
I can say words.
Okay,
I say many
yes,
words.
they
I say
can
a
now
lot of
hear the
words all the
you're
time.
saying. I apologize.
Yay, audio feeds. What was I saying? Oh, that's right. I'm Jack, and welcome to tonight's episode of In Grover Green, Final Show Films Changeling the Lost Chronicle, for which I am the storyteller. Let's have some character and player introductions then, starting with Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Lys, the Wizened Oracle.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I'm playing Mira, the player's fairest Kerugan.
Awesome. And William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Phage, the Ogre Gristle Grinder.
And Raphael.
Hi, I'm Raphael, and I'm playing Neofly, the Darkling Night Singer.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Lark, the Beast Windwing.
Adele, played by Jeremy, our Darkling Grave White and Sugar Mama, unfortunately cannot be with us this evening due to stuff. So,
I just want to point out that the way you structured that sentence implied that Jeremy is the Darkling Grave White rather than Adele.
yeah. You make it sound like that was inadvertent or unintentional. But anyway, last time we left off, the Motley Unlikely having sort of taken the forefront, both from historical involvement in the inciting incidents and by assignment from the Autumn Queen of Baltimore, Gilly, has been pursuing a spate of missing changelings that have vanished and are apparently being kidnapped, utilizing a number of resources that they have either intentionally or inadvertently cultivated over the course of their stay in this city. They were able to hunt down a number of hints, clues, and leads that led them towards another motley known as the Green Wall, only two of whom have they been able to find names for. But they have a rough idea of where this motley tends to operate. And it seems that this group of independent changelings has been kidnapping other changelings in order to enact some conspiracy theory level ceremony or ritual to attempt to lock off the real world from the Hedge and by extension Arcadia, which from a certain perspective, if it was possible to conduct that kind of lock, would keep the True Fae from ever kidnapping mortals in the area again, which could be considered a good thing if you think that that sort of thing is possible.
I mean, that is definitely a good thing if it can be done, and if it can be done without, say, mass sacrifice, which is what they seem to think it involves, potentially.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It seems to involve changeling sacrifice, which is, potentially too high a cost, maybe not, depends on what your perspectives there are. But anyway, having supplied themselves up as much as possible on glamour from the populace of the city, you guys have now all assembled. Adele, Lark, Mira, Lys, Phage, Butterfly, and Neofly, with your small fleet of vehicles, preparing to engage in the next stage of your investigation. So what's the plan?
I believe the plan was to head back to where we had found Kalinag's body
Mm-hmm.
and inspect the area in and around the hedge.
Mm-hmm.
We had to find the snake. So.
I believe Adele had wanted to call Gilly first to tell her what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Adele makes a phone call in her normal sardonic manner, communicates to Gilly that you guys are heading down towards the Gwyn Falls area, Lower Gwyn Falls Park specifically being the location where you found Kalinag's body, and hangs up, flicks the butt of her cigarette across the sidewalk, and slides behind the driver's steering wheel of her car.
So we go there, and we go into the hedge. Because if they're trying to do the same thing they did last time, then they sacrifice someone.
Yeah, it'll be in the hedge. So we'll need to go in and take a look around.
Quietly.
Quietly as possible. All right, let's get moving then.
All right. So you guys assemble into your various vehicles, take the drive down, and eventually park between 144 and Route 1 in the area of Lower Gwyn's Falls. Looking around, you guys having a greater awareness for such things given somewhat recent occurrences, realize that this park is literally right across the street from the Southwest District of the Baltimore Police Department.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, Liz, you're probably a little more hyper aware of that sort of thing. Go ahead and give me a wits and composure, Liz.
Okay.
And that is the district that the fetch was working at, correct?
No, he was Western District.
He was Western District. Okay.
Oh wait. Why is it doing a simple roll? I do have it on normal. It's on sheet roll. Come on. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Sheet is acting up. Nope, 0 successes.
Okay. So as you guys drive past and you notice this, Liz, you glance over, and the eyes of the building seem to almost follow you in a sense.
Why does this?
You're familiar with structure, but there's something very ocular about the orientation of the windows in this building as far as you're concerned. You see a couple people moving back and forth on the inside. And then for a brief moment, you could swear you see your keeper's face looking out of the windows down at you. But you glance back kind of with a double take, and that window is empty. Nothing's there.
I don't like this.
Are you okay?
They're gonna see us go in. There.
I would agree we don't want to go into the hedge where we can be seen.
Mm-hmm. What if we walk right in the middle of them? What? We could go to another spot and circle around. Back
It's
here.
I thought that those things didn't line up quite right.
not necessarily. Translating hedge to real space is a bit difficult.
Anybody who's considering that idea, give me either an intelligence and survival or intelligence and occult. If you have a hedge specialty in either of those, that would apply.
I know I
Yeah, I'll do it.
have one of those.
Intelligence and occult for me.
I will do survival.
5 successes.
Nice.
Nice. Look at those
One
kids.
success.
I have 1 success.
That's a really good
Sorry,
roll.
my sheet really doesn't want to select things.
I clicked the wrong thing.
Back, ain't it? An exceptional success that doesn't fuck me over. Yay!
As you guys sort of
Wrong roll, but
consider this.
right outcome because chance roll.
Gotcha. As you guys sort of consider this, Liz, Phage, you guys are thinking about it. You're thinking it's going to be very complicated. It's tough to handle that sort of ability, and you're definitely correct in that the reel and the hedge do not line up in a one-to-one fashion by any stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Lark, you know that this can be done in a way. There are some techniques where if you can sort of manage to be in one while keeping an eye on the other, or somehow able to peer across the boundary to an extent, you can manage that with some careful methodology. Neofly, as you consider the suggestion, you remember exactly how that sort of thing is handled. It's complicated. It takes some delicacy, and you have to be careful, but it's definitely possible. And if you manage to, it would probably be easiest if some of the motley was on one side and some was on the other. But that's definitely a potential option.
Motley on one side and on the other. What do you mean by that? Like just
like if a couple people went into the hedge and a couple people stayed outside the hedge, and you sort of used each other as beacons back and forth, so that those in the hedge can kind of ping off of you guys as a reference point.
Got it. All right.
You might be able to.
Does he know how to do said pinging? Because I don't think any form of communication that we know of works across hedge boundaries.
It depends on how close you are, because all of you know that there are parts of the hedge that are very close to the reel. There are parts of the hedge that are very far away from the reel. And if you manage to stay in the near reel part of the hedge, you can still get levels of awareness of what's happening just on the other side of the boundary. It's not easy, and it obviously if a mortal tried to do it, they wouldn't be able to. But you guys are innately bound to the weird that forms the bridge from the reel to the hedge to Arcadia and back again.
So keeping an eye on that would be perception based or weird based, or
it would be weird based. Okay. It would definitely be weird based.
Yeah. Also, when we first got out of the hedge, Liz was using a contract that let her find ways through it easier. If you do that,
that would probably help a lot. Yes,
it's most definitely doable. 3 of us in, 3 of us out. That's the only way it could work. What I mean by that is that we have 3 of us go in, and we try to, and the other 3 on the outside. basically use the 3 on the inside as a beacon to
So it has
have
to be a
ourselves on
matching
opposite
number.
sides.
Okay. But the left... It is... Socially, it's pretty unlikely there's going to be combat out here. And it's pretty likely that if Greenwall spots us, or simply there's something dangerous in the hedge, which there's something dangerous in the hedge. I'm not quite that dumb. The more people we don't have there, the more risk there is to that.
True. But
If it needs to be even numbers, then it needs to be even numbers. But
And with 5 successes, Neofly, you're thinking that even numbers does have a nice synchronicity to it. Probably would make it easier rather than having an imbalance on one side or the other, because you're trying to form a bridge, more or less, in not quite 2 dimensions of reality, but about as close as you can get to
A dimension and a
complete. Right.
Yeah,
A paradimension, a pseudo-dimensional rift, if you will.
you're not on the astral plane. You're just in the whatever the one that sides.
The ethereal, right. The near ethereal.
The border ethereal.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh my god, the hedge is the border ethereal, Arcadia is the astral plane.
yep.
Katie's a Feywild.
Yeah. It's the Feywild. We all know it's the Feywild.
It is the Feywild, but in terms of like transition.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
If we want this to work as smoothly as possible, then I would advise equal on both sides.
And if they're find, then
Well, theoretically, that's the purpose of us splitting up, is so that we won't be just dropping right into the middle of where they'd be at. We'd be trying to approach from outside.
you didn't see them when you went through last time. You just saw the body.
No,
Right?
they weren't there. They'd been gone for a while.
Yeah, and of those present, I'm pretty sure Lark and Phage are the only 2 who are currently here, who were also at the scene when you found Kalanag inside the hedge. Yep.
Just because they dumped a body there doesn't mean that's their home base or where they conduct rituals. You haven't mentioned anything you found there that would make it seem like
Well,
that's...
They definitely conducted a ritual there. He was impaled on the thorns like a crucifixion. I don't know if that's a regular spot, but it's definitely a spot where they've done ritual.
They had notes there too, right? Notes that
The
Right,
note was
at
the note was
time.
on Kalanag.
I thought
Near
one of the
Kalanag, not on.
Yeah.
So,
And I
near,
thought it was like-
near Kalanag, trapped in the thorns.
Yeah. But
The
it was
other
a different.
note, out of character, the other note, your half of the group found at a graveyard. that
Yeah,
you were
that
all
was-
Stuck in a tree at a graveyard. Yep.
Yeah.
On the real side. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where
And
it's
it turns
but-
out notes get stuck in plant foliage in this campaign.
Yes.
a lot. Yeah.
Good.
Remember that day like it was yesterday. It took forever for the both of you to get over that.
It was great. No, the note was a different time, right? So it's their garbage dump.
Potentially. Or maybe that note was
There they
something
didn't-
that got lost in the hedge, but
Or
We'll see-
something
we'll see what
Kalanag
we
had,
find.
or something that flew itself to Kalanag.
yeah. We'll find out when we get there if anything's changed.
Definitely.
Things have changed. It's
So
the
who's-
hedge.
It's the hedge, yes. Some things have changed.
Of course.
If that particular
Who's-
site has significantly altered in ways that are meaningful to us,
Mm-hmm.
Who's going in which group?
I'm probably better off in the hedge than most.
I would advise the people who have familiarity with that area go inside, and which I would assume would be
Bliss, you're worried about being
Phage and-
seen out here?
Yeah.
Me, Lark, Liz. The other three of you stay outside.
I'm 100% fine with that.
But I can find
You
ways
can find
through the
paths.
hedge.
That's part of why you would go in the hedge with us, because you are a pathfinder.
Okay.
Is that
Wait.
okay?
This group, the group that's going in here is going to be the beacon, the
Yes.
thing that everyone else is following to find the place.
Yes.
There's the people who are staying outside who are going to be a beacon of the geographical location. There's the people who are going in somewhere else who are going to use the beacon to find the geographical location.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, got it. And then we're both going in simultaneously, like one from out. Yeah. Okay, got it. Never mind. I misunderstood. Good now.
Yeah. So I don't know if the beacon half will go in. Presumably we could, but the point is that we don't want to approach immediately dropping in there from the hedge. We want to navigate through the hedge to get there.
No, I don't want to stand outside here.
Okay. Then
Right.
you should go with Phage into the hedge. Lark, preferences?
I feel that I can be more use in the hedge, but
Okay.
if I'm needed out here, that's where I'll be.
All right. So I think the three of us, you and me, Lark, and Liz is our guide. We'll go into the hedge.
So Jack, because I'm dumb, are we counting it 3 as in us and Butterfly, or 3 as in us and Adele?
Well, that is the question, because if you're going for even numbers, there's 7 of you.
Okay,
Technically.
thank you. I'm not
Right.
just going
Right.
This is why I was confused by the 3 and 3 thing.
Right. Yeah. 3 and 3. Butterfly is not a member of the Motley,
Okay.
so she's sort of the odd girl out.
Okay. So what I would do is I would look at Butterfly and I would say, Butterfly, I know it might be somewhat of an odd favor, but would you like to go be with Liz in the hedge and help us find our way to each other?
You don't have to if you're not comfortable.
Brother outside, girlfriend inside. I'll go inside.
Good.
Can I make any sense of that?
Listen,
I
Butterfly.
mean, it doesn't really take much to make sense of it. Apparently, Butterflies considers Liz her girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep.
This is smiling.
Good. You protect her now, okay?
Okay, so in and we'll find you.
All right.
Adele has lit another cigarette. So the point of all this is that some of us are going to be on the outside in the real, and some of you will be on the hedge side, and we're navigating you through the thorns so that you can get there. And then what happens? Do we just sit here and wait?
No. The point of going around is so we don't have to go through there with that watching. But in case they've got something on the other side there that you're gonna walk straight into if we go through here. Just see maybe if we can see anything that's waiting for us.
Scout the
Okay.
area without just stumbling into any traps
That's
that might be
fair. I think
All
the
right.
question is, from the perspective of those of us that are staying on this side, what are we doing?
Well, the way that the division is working right now, we have 2 people that would be pretty good at doing some reconnaissance if needed.
Okay. Of what?
Of whatever might be inside that building.
The police. The police are inside that building.
Besides them. Because if Liz is saying that there's something else in there that we definitely want to know about, then we might as well check.
Potentially. The other thing to watch out is, do we have a way of getting a signal across the boundaries of the hedge?
No.
If there is something there.
Unlikely, says Adele.
I didn't think so.
Not unless you're asleep.
So...
Because that's a really relevant... I feel like we just glossed over this. But I'm pretty sure it's relevant, and I'm doing that thing where I'm not following you. We just kind of glossed over, while you guys are in the hedge, are we investigating a police station? Because that's important to specifically say that we're doing if we're doing that.
No, well, you guys are our geographical guide, supposedly, from the real space. Once we separate and enter the hedge, you will then walk to where we found that body in the real world, so that we can follow you to that place through the hedge.
Okay.
If we find something dangerous, that means that we shouldn't head it straight into the hedge from there. We'll have to find our way out and get to you to warn you.
Yep.
All right.
So.
All right.
So we are not...
Which one of you is going to tell us where in the real space you found the door to find Kalineg's body?
Wasn't Adele there?
Well,
No,
after
Adele
the
was with
fact,
us.
after you guys had extracted the corpse from the hedge and were hiding it down by the stream.
Yeah, Adele came to buy the stream.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the only three of you who actually know where you guys entered the hedge and found Kalineg's body are Phage, Lark, and Nero.
What wasn't the tree that we had entered under like significant, like unique looking?
Yeah, it had
had an elevated rootstock. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will describe that tree and where it roughly was in the park.
Okay. All right. Good.
So we'll reach through and find you. I don't know what's in there, but I want to stay away from it. And I'm pointing at the police station. It's where
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Keep eyes in that direction, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Adele, a question for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there any way that a marker or a beacon of some sort can be left in the hedge from whatever point that they may find that we might be able to find our way back to?
Let's see what she knows. Okay. Unlikely. Those sort of things are usually taught and remembered, but as far as gates and hedge navigation go, most of the time it is done by sense of survival and attunement with our magic. A gate generally leads to the same spot in the hedge, but the mutable nature of the hedge itself, unless there's a trod already established, makes it difficult to find your way back and forth.
And I don't think establishing a trot is something that a single group of changelings can do, is it?
No, that's a long-term kind of periodic thing. building a trod takes a lot of time and a lot of effort from a lot of people.
All right. Well, this is the best plan that we've got, unless someone's got something better.
Guess we better find a door and throw you people through it then.
All right, let's find a door that's not within view of that police station, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys can pretty easily find a number of secluded areas that have enough of a door-like aspect to them that you know you'd be able to get into the hedge from there.
Yep.
So picking a moderately concealed one. Just somebody give me an intelligence and streetwise.
My streetwise is not great, neither is my intelligence. Is someone better at this than I am?
Oh, no.
I can try it.
I have 3 dice to work with here. Does anyone have more than 3 dice?
I've got 3 too, but
if only you had somebody who was
die because it's
contributing
skill.
teamwork.
Yes, I am proficient in teamwork, so I can help whoever's making this roll have 9 against, I think.
All right. You or me, Liz?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Sure, let's try this thing.
Do it with 9 against.
Yep.
Okay.
Power of collaboration. I don't need to be good at things.
Oh god, I only have 1 willpower. This is gonna be good, guys.
This is gonna be fantastic.
It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. Is it gonna roll for me? There we go. 1 success.
All right. So you pick a semi-isolated gateway that you find unlocked to a dumpster area, more or less. You're like, it's a gate. A gate counts as a door. We can activate this and use it. It'll be fine. Yep.
I'll get the door.
Yeah. I'm gonna real quick, because Liz is nervous and I don't know what it's going to be like on the other side, if there is going to be enough light for anything. I'm going to use my Panamancy now.
Okay. What are you trying to determine?
She's heckin' nervous about all of this. And Neo said he wanted to go look in the police station. I told him not to.
I said it was a just in case.
Dangerous to the group left on the other side, because she's still nervous about that part. That's probably what she'd be focusing on. Is
what's dangerous still out here?
What's out here? Because she's fairly confident about her ability to walk through the hedge. That's
okay.
She's done that before.
Trust Liz to be like, the hedge is safer than the real world. Sure it is, Liz. Sure it is. Go ahead and roll your wits and composure then.
She understands it better.
She believes she understands it better.
Yes, that's it. 2 successes.
Oh yeah, no, like these people on the outside, they're probably going to be just fine as long as they don't do anything stupid or call any attention to themselves or meet the wrong person at the wrong time or step into traffic or use any of their numerous weapons or supernatural abilities where they can be clearly seen or open any gates where mortals are actually looking already, or yeah, they'll be fine.
Didn't help at all. Okay. Don't traffic lights, and I'm gonna walk through.
Yeah, I'll get the door because I'm real big on glamour right now.
All right, so Phage spends a point of glamour, and there's a faint shimmer of energy that all of you can feel fairly easily. And that heavy metal gate kind of swings inward, which it's not designed to do. Those hinges are definitely on this side, And if it swings anyway, it should swing outward. But it swings inward, and you can smell just a faint odor of moisture and plant life and garbage. And the breeze that sort of wafts out of this concrete enclosed dumpster area is warmer than the surrounding air, almost. But there's a shift, and you know you've got a little bit of time to slip through if you need to.
Slide through.
All right, go in.
Okay. All right. So as the three, and including Butterfly, 4 of you step over this threshold. Those of you on the outside can still see them quite clearly, but as they cross that boundary, you see their masks just melt away, revealing them in all their changeling glory. And they're inside the hedge where you can't hide what you are. And some of you might reflexively look over your shoulder just to make sure nobody's watching that shouldn't be. And you don't see anybody else around. You've got about 10 seconds before this boundary closes. Any last words? Go ahead.
Yeah, can I make a roll just to make sure that nobody's looking?
Yeah. Give me a wits and composure.
I mean, I'm not going to walk away until it seems like the boundary has closed, so we have the best chance of keeping sync.
Nothing.
Okay. Yep, you definitely don't see anybody around.
Phage will say, all right, give us a good guide, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Blink.
Godspeed.
Reality reasserts itself, and the sort of densely woven, thorny vegetation that was forming the boundary of this gate vanishes. Standard mundane reality reasserts itself, and you can still feel that faint shimmer of energy delineating this as a now activated gate between some part of the hedge and the real now. And you just have to hope nobody stumbles across it that shouldn't.
Can I, from across the hedge, after the gate closes, I'm trying and focus and see if I can still sense my motley mates directly on the other side on the reel.
Give me a wits and weird.
Wits and weird. Not with streetwise. Streetwise can go away. 2 successes.
So you kind of, having stepped through and then seen the wall of thorns just kind of coalesce back into place, but still feeling that level of boundary where you know that if you invested the right amount of magic and pulled these thorns apart, you'd be able to step back into Baltimore proper. You look down. There's an amount of refuse and litter here. It's definitely got that sort of parallel of garbage on one side, garbage on the other side. But you can feel a faint, familiar shimmer of weird energy, of magical essence there that has the fingerprints of your friends and family. Now, still there.
I've got a sense for them, so when they get moving, we'll get moving.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I want who on the real side is going to be taking point for being the beacon.
Is that a weird base thing? I think we established this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it
I
will
should
be.
probably.
Okay.
I should probably do that.
All right.
I have no objections.
Okay. This will be a teamwork thing, so you will get your 2 extra dice,
Awesome.
Mira. And you'll be rolling weird, occult, and manipulation.
Oh.
Manipulation.
Cult. Okay.
Interesting.
Sure. That makes this slightly more challenging.
I'm curious. I'm curious about reasoning behind manipulation, because that, like, being a beacon almost feels like a definitionally presence thing, kind of.
It doesn't matter. The main
I'm just
problem is
curious.
I'm taking a 3
Right.
-3 penalty. Like, my manipulation and my presence are both absolutely fine. You know what? I'm full on willpower. I'll spend 1 on this.
Okay.
And there's no way any of us would be able to assist her in that role, correct?
You are already doing so.
You are already doing so, yeah. Mhm.
Unless you want to
that's where
actively
the plus
not
2 comes
assist
from.
me, teamwork is assumed, usually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I can use my teamwork powers.
Yep. And for manipulation, Mira is actively attempting to modify and project her magical essence. It's not an aspect of Mira's personality or being that's immediately visibly present to people. She's trying to magnify a hidden reserve of energy, which is why it's that is endemically tied to her personality. So she's trying to manipulate.
Makes sense. I was just curious.
2 successes.
Okay.
Damn that -3.
And on the inside, who's going to be your primary navigator?
I probably will.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the one that's good at getting around the hedge, but I'll keep an eye out for the beacon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it will be wits and investigation and weird.
Okay.
You can add a +2 for Mira's successes to your dice pool.
Okay. Plus
You're
weird.
way better at investigation than I am.
+2. Okay. That's a bunch of dice. Here goes nothing. 4 successes.
Yeah.
All right. So how long do you guys in the real side wait before you start walking down towards the park looking for this weird tree north of the basketball courts?
Probably not long after the gate closes.
Okay. So after a moment, you guys begin to, in a small knot, just walk down the sidewalk towards the park, looking for the landmark you were directed to be searching for. Inside the hedge, Liz, you see what Phage was doing there near the now closed gateway, and you try and mirror that, and you immediately begin to pick up on that same resonance. It's oddly physical for you. The longer you focus on it, it's almost as though you can hear muffled footsteps. In a way, just on the other side of these thorns that sort of block your vision here in this dimension, but muffled to a level where you're hearing them through something more than just a plant barrier. And they're fading away towards the south.
That way.
Let's move.
I'm following that.
Okay. The maze of the hedge, there are hints of paths hereabouts that go off in various directions. And as you walk, still listening, still trying to stay in contact with that signal, that faint essence that you're using to track, and you're starting to get a feel for where it's going, but you're going to have to make some choices navigation wise, because the bits of pathway that snake through this very dense plant growth don't follow in keeping with the way this sound is traveling across the barrier.
Yep.
I would like to attempt to manipulate the hedge as much as I can, to sort of give us a bower path, just kind of maneuver the thorns and the hedge around to keep us shielded from predators, but to give us the straightest possible path, and hopefully Liz can navigate from there.
Okay. Are you 2 or 3 in your weird?
I am 3 in weird.
3. Okay.
I can also would using Pathfinder, finding a thorn and pricking my thumb, would that help with this as well?
Potentially.
Okay.
Okay. So you're already starting to see, Phage, your own effect on the nearby hedge. The flowers give off a scent not opposed to their nature. It's a very sort of floral bouquet, but there's a syrupy, sweet, almost nectary fragrance to them. It's less that they're pleasant to be around and more that you almost feel like you'd want to pull them off and stick them in your mouth just to see what they taste like.
Mm-hmm. Smells like honeysuckle.
Yeah, but a more edible version.
And you can eat honeysuckle.
Doesn't mean it smells great.
They're not. No, they don't smell great.
Yeah, but it's the difference between honeysuckle smells sweet, you might be able to get a little flavor of it, and actually starting to smell like a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Something that you would want to actually stick a fork in. Go ahead and give me a manipulation and weird roll, just straight.
I love manipulation. And I will spend a willpower on this. Good thing I spent that willpower, because geez.
It's rough.
It was the last die in that list of 10 dice.
The actual last die. Okay. You make an effort to sort of bend the hedge around your own weird. It's resistant. The occasional bloom sort of intensifies slightly, and the ground definitely takes on a more receptive nature, smoothing in places and growing less hostile to an extent, at least in your immediate vicinity. And the nature of the growth here tends to thicken a bit in your wake, but it's minor at best.
Mm-hmm. I will renew efforts and try again whenever I can.
Okay. The rest of you're beginning to make your way down to the park. Foot traffic is pretty easy. There's not a huge amount of vehicle passing, and there's not too many people out on the sidewalk. It's chilly today, being, later in the year, mid-November, and there don't seem to be a large number of people watching, which is a good feeling for you guys as you're attempting to maintain a low profile and remain as innocuous as possible. You don't hurry. You're trying to be followed by people that you can't currently see. So you don't want to make it difficult on them if you can help it. And you make your way down the sidewalk across the street and into the park. The basketball courts are abandoned currently. Nobody's out, though the weather is not exactly conducive to outdoor team sports. And there in front of you is a small amount of patchy woods that apparently has a specific tree inside it that you're going to need to find. So, give me just a wits and composure as you guys begin looking around, trying to find this spot.
Everyone or one person?
Everybody.
One success.
One success.
2 successes, surprisingly.
2 successes. Okay. We'll do one for Adele as well, just to round it out.
Probably would have been a good idea to walk here first in the reel so we knew where we were going, huh?
Well, you guys are sort of actively doing it currently. Yeah. And as you guys begin to look around, it takes you a couple minutes. You head north from the basketball courts into this slightly patchy wooded area, and then find eventually this tree that's growing up. Only takes you about 10 minutes of walking and looking. And there's a faint rise before the roots actually cohere into into the trunk that reaches up. And you feel like, yeah, this is probably the one. And you wait.
Okay.
Liz, as you guys begin to make your navigation and try and travel, I'm going to need a wits and survival roll from you.
Okay. I am not great at survival, actually. This is going to be good.
Oh, you can spend willpower, and you still have those 2 extra dice from Mira's attempts to magnify her signal, as it were.
Okay. I'm not going to spend willpower yet because I only have the 1, and I'm going to save that, I think.
Which things can you spend glamour on? Might be worth remembering.
1 success. So I can spend glamour to activate Pathfinder.
No, as a wizened, you should have some.
Oh, that's dexterity based stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's dexterity, and then I get stuff with the cult because of autumn. Yeah.
So, Liz, you start trying to make your navigation, and you know that there's a level of advantage that you might be able to incorporate once you decide to activate the Pathfinder aspect of your contract. You've picked your thorn. You've shed your drop of blood. Do you want to use your Pathfinder for this? This is just, remember that Pathfinder only gives you information, doesn't necessarily, and it only lets you get information on things that you might be able to see.
Okay. Nature of the hedge in a certain area.
Right. For each success, you learn a single pertinent fact about the local hedge. Doesn't point out where, just what is around, and the distance to which it's effective is your line of sight, which currently isn't fantastic and probably would be much more effective once you get to the place where you're actually trying to figure things out.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably save this. I probably won't be able to tell if we're getting close, but I don't know how far we have to go. And the point of this was to find if there was anything waiting for us, an immediate danger that we need to know to avoid when we get to the point where we're going to meet up with the rest of the group and kind of bring them in.
Okay.
So probably.
So you're gonna hold off on Pathfinder for now.
Holding off.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Holding off for now.
So as you're trying to stay actively aware of things while still navigating through the hedge, but remaining conscious or at least in connection with what exists on the other side as well, you start to notice a little bit of that visibly evident to you as you begin to navigate through this twisted maze of half open paths and twisting avenues through the thick undergrowth. Occasionally you sort of stumble across a patch of asphalt heavily overgrown by moss and vines, or a bit of chain link barely visible between the twisting jagged thorns and ivy like barriers that block your way. There's a level of human construction present and evident in the hedge that you don't usually see, but it's faintly reassuring that you've got these sort of touches of the material world visible here. It's slow going, but you never quite completely lose track of those footsteps for more than a couple seconds at a time. And eventually they give way from the tread of shoes on asphalt to a rustle of feet through plant matter. And then they stop just about the time that you duck under a low-hanging branch and find a thick wall of growing thorns and a faint opened area, a small clearing with a heavy boundary sort of at its back that fairly accurately matches your sort of mental image of wherever it was that Kalinag's body would have been driven up onto the thorns and left as a hanging sacrifice.
Yep. All right, I'm going to use
Phage as you follow Lys's steps, you come out, and this is very reminiscent. You're pretty sure this is the place. Lark, you as well.
This is a spot.
Okay, give me a sec. I'm
Where's the snake?
Not here. They moved it.
Oh. She holds your hand.
I'm going to use Pathfinder now to see.
Okay.
Probably trying to focus my attention back and out around, not toward if that's the gate. Because I'm guessing that they're somewhere out there.
Okay.
Pathfinder. I met the catch, so I'm good on that.
Yep. Just intelligence plus you're weird.
Okay. Is this something I can use willpower on?
If you like, yeah.
Let's do that. This is why we came in here first. Let's spend that. +3.
Okay.
3 successes.
Okay. So here are the 3 things that you learn about this area that you can see.
Okay.
You kind of squeeze your thumb and forefinger around that thorn that you pulled out as you entered the hedge today, and focus in trying to divine the nature and the viable and relevant aspects of this area. One, you definitely can see almost it sort of leaps out at you. You can see the faintest hints of brown staining on a couple of the larger thorns here. And you know that is the area right there in front of you, ahead and a little bit to the left, where Kalinag's body was mounted on the thorns of the hedge. That's 1. 2. Of the passages leading away from this clearing, of which there are a number, you can pick out which ones were most recently used by changelings to enter or leave the area, one of which is underneath that branch that you guys just ducked in. But there's 2 others that changelings have probably within the past month or so used to come or go from this immediate area. The third thing you see is specifically that going out from that second one, probably a couple dozen feet through, if you push away at the plants to the left, will open up a gate revealing your friends standing there waiting to see you guys, either to tell them it's safe and that they can come in and have a look around, or that you guys have found what you needed and you're ready to engage on the next stage of investigation here.
Okay, so
But the area itself feels relatively deserted. There's not really anything around, say, that's threatening or taking claim on this as its own personal territory that it's going to defend or oppose your presence of.
Got it. Okay. All right. And you said there were 2 paths, and the second one is the gate into the real. So that other one is probably where. Okay. All right, there, that way, right there.
Yours that you just ducked out on
Yep.
feels kind of like it would take you back north. You guys were traveling south before you came into this clearing.
Yep.
The one that you know the rest of your motley is sort of on the other side of leads kind of eastish.
Got
If
it.
they're looking in, they're looking west. And that last one, the first one that has also recently been used, points now kind of south and west.
Okay.
Sort of in the direction of the police station and the greater Gwyn's Falls area.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
In the direction of. Not into, but in the direction of.
Yep. Okay. They're that way. This is safe here. We call them in and then we go from there, or I think that way is.
All right. Well, let's get everyone in the hedge for now, since it seems like it doesn't look like there's anything immediately going to try and eat us.
No.
All right, I'll head over to the point that she indicated and see if I can find the gate and open it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll weird then.
Just weird.
Just weird.
Ooh.
You can't just pull it open by the force of your your own connection with the fey magics that permeate reality, even in the real, but slightly stronger here. You're gonna have to spend a glamour if you want to get this one open.
Okay.
Right. So you push that reserve of fey magic that you contain, and you guys on the outside feel the gate vibrate and open, and you can see in that slight hollow underneath the passage, the hole into the split trunk and roots of this tree kind of grown open with a creak. And the gate is open, and it was definitely one of your motley mates that opened it on the other side.
Looking around to make sure there's no one, like, looking in this direction that might see
Same.
that.
Yeah, no, the park is pretty isolated and abandoned. Pretty vacant right now.
Cool.
Doesn't seem to be anybody else around. All you have to do is duck under, crawl through, and you'll be on the other side.
Will do.
All right, let's file in.
Okay, so you guys, 1, 2, 3, duck on in underneath. Adele kind of with a sigh bringing up the rear, and everybody has sort of assembled here in the hedge in this opening, this clearing where Kalinag's body was found after his death.
I think they're that
Hi.
way.
Hey, you're all alive.
Yep. For now. Always for now.
Anything interesting that we found?
I think they're that way. There's a path.
The flowers taste like hamburgers.
That's great.
Interesting.
Did you try one? Here.
Well, see, now I'm curious.
We're on the way.
Both. One here, one back there.
Do they taste the same?
Yeah.
How, like, likely is it she's poisoned? Like,
Like she's been exposed to a hedge toxin, you mean?
I guess this is somewhere between medicine and weird, but, like, You're gonna make me roll a cult for this. But, like, eating random flowers in the hedge seems like the kind of thing that happens in a fairy tale and is bad. And
Yeah, you
or
grow a
the sort of
mushroom
thing
and
that if
you
it happens in the real is really bad because there's a lot of
Give
that's
me
how kids get sick.
Yeah. Sometimes. Give me a wits and medicine. Plus you're weird.
Oh, that's much better than the last thing I had to roll. Mostly because all of the dice are positive.
Man, this is sort of a Fey diagnostics
Yeah.
glance. She seems fine.
Okay. Also, I
For
hate
now.
that I roll these huge dice pools and just get nothing out of them.
You ain't the only one.
I know.
The dice are rarely ever in our favor in this game.
Yep.
I want to know what Jeremy's running stat line is for us, but he's on for today.
I don't think that he keeps track for this one because it's much harder to do.
That's fair.
Yeah, with that many dice.
Yeah.
They're that way, but you said to find the snake before, the dead snake. He's gone. The body was there.
I kind of glance over to where Liz is pointing to the direction of.
Mira will sort of pinch her nose for a moment. if I'm understanding the stories you've told me of this event correctly, you moved the body. Like...
We left it back in the same... Well, in the hedge around this area, though. The body itself is completely gone. Either consumed by scavengers or moved.
GM, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we dropped the body back into the hedge by the lake bed, not by the original ritual site.
By the stream, yes. You guys, the Kalanag's body was pulled down off the thorns for better investigation, and then when you didn't want to leave a corpse in a potentially heavily trafficked area where kids wander around and play games and engage in recreation activities, you opened up another gate and kind of just checked it back through and closed the door.
Yeah. So we moved the body is the point.
You moved the body and then dumped it in the back into the hedge in the general localized area here. I mean, if you guys wanted, you could poke around and see if you could find it again.
Sure, I'll see if I can
that was only a month or two ago.
I'll see if I can find what's left of Kalanag's corpse after hedge scavengers have gotten to it.
I'm gonna go check out the thorn wall.
Okay.
Because...
And we will assume you guys are taking adequate precautions to not just wander off too far that you lose track of each other, so...
Yes.
Okay. As you're looking around. Is anybody else looking around for anything in particular, or just getting a lay of the land, as it were?
Yeah.
Mira?
So, because a lot of the discussion has revolved around these people, like, conducting rituals to cut off the hedge and stuff, what I'd like to do is I'd like to try and see if I can sense if this area of the hedge feels weird or impacted or blood sacrificed in... I understand that it's actually impossible for them to cut off the hedge, but depending on what they're doing, maybe we'd still be able to feel that something has gone weird here. Does that make sense?
Right.
Maybe
whether anything has...
else.
Yeah,
right. Whether anything has changed from what you'd normally expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
as normal is in the weird.
Okay. No problem.
By that sort of changeling presence. I don't know.
Right. Okay. These will be wits and investigation rolls. Nobody really has any particularly salient knowledge or equipment that they're utilizing or anything there. So unless you want to spend willpower, they'll pretty much all be flat rolls at a -1.
I rolled a chance die. I didn't get a critical failure.
Chance die more of a -1, but I understand that it's still going to be a chance die if I spend willpower.
I'll do that roll. Wits and investigation?
Yep.
That's not a chance roll for me. So let's see if I can get anything.
What was the roll for again? Well, I was going to ask if for the thorn wall, I wanted to check to see if besides the blood that would be there because of what happened to Kalanag, if there was anything else on that thorn wall that kind of showed like signs of a struggle, like or blood in an area that was particularly farther away from where Kalanag's body would have been, or broken thorns or anything like that.
Okay. That'll still be wits and investigation at a -1 then.
Okay, no problem. And would I be able to use my keen observation for this?
Yeah.
Just because I don't know how it's going to respond to a -1 on a chance roll, just know it's already a chance roll.
Sure.
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys look around, Liz, you're the only one who finds anything particularly apparent.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing you notice, because you were looking around, you said in that sort of third exit from the clearing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You are looking to see the footprints evident here, and you can pretty much pick up the ones that your motley has made in the softer soil areas, but you do find a couple of other ones, a couple other pairs of footprints headed that direction.
Mm-hmm.
One of which looks somewhat bird-like, but human-sized-ish. The other two made seemingly from human-like footprints that just don't match any of the ones that your motley or butterfly have made. Different shoes.
Yep. That's someone like Lark. And two other people this way. Went this way.
Wasn't one of the green wall named Nightjar?
Yes.
It's a bird.
I think that might be their tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
Do you think those might lead somewhere useful, Liz?
Yeah, where they are.
Shall we see if we can follow them? Anyone find anything useful around here before we leave?
Unfortunately not.
No, though that could be a good thing.
I'm with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody also give me just flat wits and composure rolls as well. Since you guys are looking around and just trying to get a sense of what's nearby.
Oh, it's still a chance roll. Okay.
Not as a chance roll.
Hey,
Yeah.
4 successes.
I have a success.
1 success.
2 successes.
1.
Okay. Those of you with 1 success are all sort of picking up on this is definitely a living forest area, heavily overgrown, very, very thorny in its way. Everything that grows seems to have some level of jagged nature to the plant material that makes up whatever species these individual growing entities would be classified as. Faint bird calls from deeper within nearby. The occasional buzz or sound of an insect as well. It's very dense near where you're at, but it's a living sort of area. It's not barren. There's some sort of ecosystem here with species and entities making up a biosphere of some magical nature. Mira, as you're glancing around, you're noticing that the plants tend to grow over, and it's not flat. There's varying levels of changing topography. Some aspects of deeper, moisture areas with denser plant growth to them. Liz, you're the one that notices a pile of sort of loose objects kind of tangled together off to one side in a sort of dumping ground-esque sort of area. Mm-hmm. Close-ish to that one place where you've seen the other three pairs of footprints. It's in that same region, but heavily overgrown by vines, mushrooms, fungus, broad leaves with jagged edges, kind of serrated in nature, just in terms of how the plants grow. But you can see if you poked through it, there's some other stuff in there, probably heavily decayed or broken.
Yeah, let's go zero in on that. And what's there?
The rare shiv leaf.
Well, I mean, it's plants, but not all plants have smooth-edged leaves to them.
All I heard was serrated leaf, and I was like,
"Yeah, serrated."
Oh yeah, lots of leaves are serrated.
Stab me if I reach past it. Yeah, but this is the hedge. It's a shiv.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's a saw blade. It's a plant, but it's also a saw blade.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been poked by serrated leaves, but
it depends. Yeah, depends on the leaf. Yeah, I'm gonna try and look through there and see what's that.
Okay. As you are you doing it just with your hands or what?
There are mushrooms there. I have had an experience with a mushroom.
I've had an experience with a mushroom.
Yes. Listen, I'm being very specific. No. I've recovered some of what I've had. Do I have like a screwdriver just to metal rod?
Bought you
but
tools.
I don't have to touch things.
Yep. Okay. So you pull out your investigation screwdriver and start poking around and dissecting this pile of rubble that's overgrown with plants and fungus. Mm-hmm. You find some scraps of wood, some bits of heavily decayed paper and that sort of thing. Kind of some scraps of magazines and newsprint as well. Couple solid objects and little bits of plastics and metal. It looks like garbage that's been abandoned for a bit. Couple things with sharper angles to them, casing, wrappers.
Can I tell what anything is or was?
I mean, it feels like stuff that has made its way here or been left from the real world. Something kind of fast food-esque in a couple aspects in terms of the lower down bits, like the sort of cardboard containers that you've seen used for sandwiches and stuff like that when you go through a drive-through. It's mostly garbage, but in a manufactured, like leftover from civilization sort of garbage type way. Okay. Couple bits of rubber as well. Mm-hmm. Either old linings or casings from things. A couple bits of wire.
Ooh, I'm gonna take the rubber and the wire. Those might be useful.
Okay.
Vaguely.
Kind of scrapness in its own way.
Yep. This is a hoarder.
Yep.
Yep. People. There are people here.
And a broken part of definitely like a curved aspect of a glass jar.
Ooh, yes, absolutely. Let's grab some glass.
Okay.
I would imagine so, given what we're investigating.
Okay, I have some stuff.
All right. Let's see if we can follow this path then, shall we?
Agreed.
Everyone set?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. And we start trying to follow the footprints.
Okay. That will be wits and survival.
That's
from everyone or from someone specific?
Anybody who wants to, or you can make it a teamwork thing.
It's a teamwork thing. You guys get 9 agains. Have fun.
One person will get
Okay.
9 agains if everybody's working together.
Whoever
do
gets teamwork gets 9 agains.
Okay.
That's a
I'll
3
do it.
dice thing for me if anyone's better than that.
I'd have 2, so.
I have, you said it was wits and survival, right?
Yep.
I have 4 in total.
Good.
Yeah.
That's better than me.
I have 5.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
You got it.
Lord.
You got it.
Marks the tracker. All right.
That makes sense. And you roll it with 9 against.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay. So you begin to make your way through and find your way as you delve deeper into the thorns, heading in this sort of southwesterly direction. Everything winds and twists, and it's heavily overgrown, and everybody's kind of sticking together in a knot of travel as you work your way through, ducking under low branches, occasionally having to maneuver your clothing off of where it's gotten caught on thorn and briar. And Lark, you're trying to keep an eye out for the occasional footprint or sign of disturbed area, or just more well-traveled narrow pathway that you can find. And it's still got this very close to the real aspect to it. It's not all wildlands. You'll occasionally come across bits of pavement, some of it asphalt-like, or with the occasional even strip of yellow or white road paint in some of these scraps of pavement that occasionally poke through the underlying plant growth. Nothing particularly weird pokes its way out until you get to what is definitely an old, torn down and rotting phone booth. Heavily overgrown, mostly destroyed from the ravages of time. There's a little bit of graffiti on it.
Are we talking like standing pole phone booth, Superman phone booth, or police call box?
Well, this is the United States, so there's no such thing as a police call box around.
You want us to spend
More
our
on
taxpayer dollars on the police?
more on the old Superman phone booth type.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of half tilted, buried. Most of the panels are either busted out or fragmented in nature. But you can still see where the phone aspect of it used to be. And there's a little bit of a metal box with some buttons and a receiver kind of just dangling out of the cradle.
This seems like a weird thing to be in the hedge.
Very weird.
It's the hedge. Everything's weird with a Y.
Yep.
I feel like this might be a landmark the Green Wall use. Or something more important they might use.
What if you listen at the phone?
Do you want to...
I'll volunteer.
Do you? Okay. So Neofly, you pick it up and there's a little bit of a crackle, and you can give me just a weird wits and composure roll.
Got it.
You cannot spend willpower on this one.
It is reflexive.
Hmm.
Two.
Ooh.
Nice.
You do still have 9 again ticked, but it would still be 2.
Okay.
I think with how I'm reading the results here, but yeah, there's a crackle. And you can kind of hear like some level of kind of and a voice on the other end, not one that you recognize, but you listen and you can start to make out some words. Safety is a luxury, a necessity. Wreath yourselves with protection. Hunters amongst us, disguising hard-favored rage with fair nature.
I'm repeating everything as soon as like I hear it.
To your most secure holdings, hide. Battlements, defend what you may and clear your avenues of escape. The time may be coming wherein all must flee, like the crow makes wing to the rooky wood.
Yeah,
and then the line goes dead.
Yeah, as that was going on, I was repeating every single word that was coming as soon as I heard it.
Okay. So you all hear Neofly obviously trying to recreate and repeat what he's hearing on the other end of the line.
Seems like we're in a bit of trouble. And we need to get ready or something like that.
That is assuming that message was meant for us.
I feel like
certain elements of it are things we already know. But
it sort of strikes me in a similar vein to the messages that we've been getting from DJ Utzel.
Perhaps, though, if you think about this as some sort of messaging system the Green Wall set up for themselves.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
That's in the future.
Although it seems like whatever system DJ Utzel uses and the rest of the people that run that broadcast doesn't really care what you're listening on.
Mm-hmm. Also, that's the future. We're here, and we have a path. That way. Right?
So
the paths have branched a bit, but you are following the one that seems to be the most heavily trafficked.
Shall we keep going, then?
Yep.
All right.
Unless anybody wants to investigate the area, yeah, definitely. You can keep going. That does continue to wind
is a really
deeper
long
in.
Shot, but could I make a... Is it even possible... I know we're still very close to the real, to make an assumption about, like, where this real landmark might have fallen in from, in terms of where we are in the parallel?
So for that, you definitely can, if you want. Let me look and see where that's at. You would need to make a intelligence, investigation, and weird roll.
Okay.
You've been in the hedge for about an hour, so you're going to need 3 successes if you're going to find a place where you can open a gate to check and see where you're at.
Mira slightly bamboozles herself and moves on.
So you take a few minutes looking around. Nothing is leaping out at you, particularly as a good place where you could open up a gate.
I like the phrase "slightly bamboozles herself."
Her brain is making cotton made of cotton candy. When she thinks too hard, it doesn't work.
That's fair.
So, yeah. It's strange.
So are you guys going to investigate the area, the phone booth specifically, or just keep going?
Liz just wants to take a look around the area real quick, she's trying to like keep an eye out for anything, because we're going into something that I don't know what's
Okay, that's wits and composure and weird.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of just want to check and see if there's anything around the phone booth.
Okay, that's intelligence and investigation and weird.
One success.
Lark.
Lark wants to investigate the phone booth.
Okay, that's intelligence and investigation and weird.
I will get in on that wits and composure and weird for the surrounding area.
Okay. So, Liz, as you're just kind of investigating the surrounding area, you can see
Whoa!
Wow.
a couple of aspects of kind of this seems to be more near real than the bits of the hedge that you have been traveling through up until this point. You're seeing a couple of, like, as you poke around, you find an area that's definitely 2 parking spots.
Wait, question on that.
Like there's some patchy asphalt with some stripes on it, and towards one end of it, there's one of those concrete, like, raised bits that are, at the end of a parking spot.
Question on that real quick, because we got close to the real when we rendezvoused with the other group. We're closer to the real from that as well. Like, we've been getting steadily closer to something on the real, or has that?
The hedge exists as a liminal space between Arcadia and the real.
Yep.
So as the sort of gradient goes, as you travel through it, it's not 100% one way or the other. There are parts of the hedge that are more real adjacent, and there are parts of the hedge that are more Arcadia adjacent, and then there are parts of the hedge that are just very hedge. Yep. This is one of those areas, apparently, that seems to be a little more real adjacent, which the presence of a bashed up phone booth, and so, kind of would indicate,
Okay.
And then you found a couple overgrown parking spots. Oh, yep.
Yep.
If we find a functioning car in the hedge.
That's when you get worried, because those aren't supposed to work here.
No.
I could try and make it work.
if you bring a car into the hedge, There's nothing to prevent it from stopping or even driving if there's enough open area for it. But it will eventually run out of gas.
Okay.
No, the reason like phones don't work in the hedge because phones require signal. You know, a car is a self-functioning piece of technology. Phones require cell phones require like, you know, transmission towers and stuff like that.
So we get like 10 jerry cans of gas and we Mad Max the hedge.
Yes.
No, this is a bad idea.
If you can make a car that is functional at making its own road at the same time that it's running, then yes.
That's why I said we Mad Max the hedge. It's gotta be a war rig.
Who are very good at that.
Yes, you do.
It's got to be a war rig. It's got to be like fully functional, like armed with chainsaws and flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Right. So that it can clear a path for itself as it's traveling. Yeah.
This has goals. It's one of them now.
Which with 5 successes,
I don't find.
Phage finds the skeleton of a car.
I was about to say.
No tires, heavily rusted. The back windshield is definitely bashed the shit out of. The front windshield is just kind of spider-webbed, but still there. One headlight, both taillights, though.
Face just kind of walks up and knocks on the roof. I wonder what poor sap lost this thing. I wonder if they think it's just in an impound lot somewhere.
How old does the car look?
Late 90s.
Okay.
It's a late 90s, we're going to say, it's a late 90s Civic.
Nice.
That is cool.
That was the second car in my mind. The first one was a Chevy Nova.
So Neo and Lark, as you guys are looking around the phone booth, Neofly, you find half of a phone book.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. Yeah, you've got it's a slew of numbers with names, last names.
Okay.
Probably about, you know, a good 120 pages of that. And then about 20 pages of the A section of the Baltimore Yellow Pages from God knows when.
Okay. I'm gonna double check to see if there's anything that might be highlighted or circled, or there might be a note written next to any of the numbers or names.
Okay. Give me a intelligence and resolve, I'll say, as you're just paging through one after another trying to look for anything particular.
Okay, and this is without weird, correct?
No weird on this one yet.
Okay.
I would like to see if there's anything in the car.
Yeah, I'm looking at that thing. That is cool. And there is potential stuff there.
Lark, what you notice on the phone booth, is like part of the graffiti there is definitely a heart with R+L in it.
Okay.
That's the only thing interesting or notable that you're able to pick up on.
Two successes for phone book.
Okay. There is a underlined in red, like a red Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
It says automotive repair under the A's.
Okay.
And The company name is Ratchet Repair. Mm-hmm. Phone number we'll say is 410-879-6898.
What was that number again? It was
410-879-6898.
Okay. I will write that down somewhere.
Okay. But yeah, gauging by the destruction, the mold, the dampness, the warping of the pages, this phone book's been sitting outdoors for a good 5 to 7 years, probably, if not longer. Kind of tucked in, like it is underneath the actual phone station itself. So marginally sheltered, but definitely exposed to insects and elements for quite a period of time.
And Liz and Phage are trying to see if there's anything in the car.
Well, the glove box is locked.
Well, I have wire. You find
a couple, like there's a balled up half of a heavily decayed and oil stained t-shirt underneath one of the seats. You're trying to unlock the glove box?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You could give me you said you have a piece of wire that you're using for it?
Yeah, because I pulled some wire out of that garbage pile.
Yeah, you did. All right, using a couple. Yeah, that's not enough to give you a tools bonus on lockpick. Just give me a dexterity and larceny -2. It's really rusty.
Okay.
If all else fails, if it's really rusty, I can just break the thing open.
Maybe.
Hey, 2 successes though.
Wow. Okay. Takes you about 10 minutes, but yeah, you can jimmy the lock.
What's in it?
Well, I actually did prepare for this. So let me make a roll on my random loot table on what you might find in a glove box. Hang on a second.
Please tell me there are actually gloves in a glove box. It would be the first time in maybe 2 decades.
Well, it is the 90s.
I already have.
Okay, fine. Yes, I will say there. You find a work glove.
A glove in the glove box.
Glove. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A work glove, a right-hand work glove.
Okay, right hand. Got it.
12 cents.
Ooh.
2 nickels, 2 pennies.
Okay. Ooh, that's good. Okay.
The most useful of currency.
A road map.
Of what?
Pennsylvania, oddly enough. Which is not the state you are in.
No.
But it's the next one up.
Uh-huh.
But it's the closest one, I think, from where Baltimore's at. Yeah, probably. It's either that or Delaware. And a gun.
My third one. Okay.
No bullets.
All right.
Damn, we could at least share. I don't know.
I will look at the gun.
Do I see this happening?
If you're not busy doing anything else, yes.
Liz?
Yeah.
Let's consider that has been in a glove box that's rusted over in
Actually,
the hedge for quite a while and might not be in usable condition right now.
Actually, Liz, can I see that gun real quick?
Yeah. It's okay. I have 2 others.
I sort of take a look at it,
that's
recalling to mind a conversation that was had that I was sort of vaguely proxy to by nature of being in the room or the next room, that occasionally items will pick up magical properties by sitting in the hedge for too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I sense hedge magic on this gun?
Let's see. What is your clarity currently?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Trying to remember where the rules for kenning are.
Does Phage speak that aspect of it aloud?
She's gonna look at it first and then say something after she gleans for a second.
Because there's also like coins and shit that could.
Yeah, she'll say that after she figures out this gun specifically.
Got it.
Okay. What's sorry, Phage, what did you say your clarity is?
7.
You can either spend a willpower point or I can roll it.
I will. You know what? This is gonna be great. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
You scared me for a second. I thought you were
One of the gun and one of the nickels have some level of supernatural essence to them. You can't determine what it is. At this point, you would have to test and investigate over a period of time, but yes.
So you know that conversation that you and I had, I think, with Adele at one point about how occasionally if things sit in the hedge for too long, they pick up a bit of magic.
Wait, is that...
This gun and this nickel. No idea what they do yet.
I found them!
Let's not play around with hedge magic quite yet. We're in the middle of an investigation.
Yes.
I'll hold on to these until we get out, and then we'll both investigate these and find out what they do.
One each.
You want to hold on to the nickel?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll take the nickel. I will take all the things probably because that's fairly small, and I put the glove on.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's a little too big for you. It's one of those like kind of with the sort of they always have like a stripy cuff area and then very rough kind of thin leather. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
And that weird elastic band on the back that nobody has ever figured out what is actually for.
It's for putting heat packs in. It just doesn't work very well.
Huh.
It's on the outside though.
Yeah.
That elastic band is on the out. What is that for? Somebody needs to tell me at some point. I want to know.
I think it's probably
and it's always really stretched out, you know? Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. Questions that have never been answered since my childhood that I've always wanted to know. Okay. But
I will stow the gun for further investigation later.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what you guys have found in this area.
Okay. We keep going. Right?
All right. I will need another whatever survival check it was that I had Lark make a little while back.
I believe...
Wits and survival, yes.
You get 9 against.
Yay.
Oh.
Ah, 0.
Oh.
That's not good.
That is not good. You make your way towards the edge of this kind of rubble area that seems to be fairly close to the real side. You know you've been heading in the right direction, but you don't see a trail that's an exit from this area. I mean, okay. You see 3 trails actually that are apparent exits from this area. You have no idea which one to use.
Okay.
So you can either take a chance or try and find a way back to the real, see where you've ended up, and make your way from there.
Can I attempt to glean from the hedge itself, if I can get that sense of it, if it has sensed this other motley recently?
Do you have any using what either contract or mechanic?
I was going to see. I'm not sure if it works this way, but I was going to ask the hedge if it could show me the way to where the green walls have passed.
That's not really a thing.
Okay, I didn't think it was. But
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
hoping.
Yeah, no.
If Lark indicates that she can't tell which way is which, I can probably do Pathfinder again. Here.
Could I also see if I would be able to make that wits and survival roll? Kind of just
that was Lark was doing it as a teamwork role with the 9 again, so
Mm-hmm.
everybody's efforts sort of went into that role. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lark's going to mention that like there are 3 paths. She has no idea which one to take.
Okay. So I will. Can I use the same? I don't think there's. Can I use the same? I'd have to pluck up another thorn, wouldn't I, for this area?
To meet the catch.
Yes.
I think it's in the last 24 hours.
The catch. The catch. Yeah, you've done it within the last day, so you still meet the catch. Yeah.
I still meet it. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna enact that and
Okay.
see what I can find out.
Intelligence and weird.
Find
Okay.
the path.
You can spend willpower because it's
I don't
combat.
have any willpower.
Oh no!
Come on.
1 success.
The fact that you are able to determine, you can't determine anything about the trails.
Okay.
You can determine that the car functions as a gate.
Oh, okay. I don't think they went either of these ways. That's a car door. That's a gate. Maybe we went through there.
Probably
too.
worth at least heading out here if we can't go any further. And this may be a path to an exit that they've also used. It seems like that's the right move to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see what's on the reel then, shall we?
Yep.
Do it.
All right.
I will try and open the door since I'm the one with glamour to burn if I can't do it by sheer force of will.
Okay.
Straight weird roll to try and do it by force.
You can either spend a glamour, or if you want to try and do it by force, you can roll your weird. Yep.
All right, let's see if I can do it by force before I spend a glamour. I can!
Nice.
All right. So you step over to the car door and just kind of to the frame of the car again and just sort of trace your finger over it lightly, trying to find the residence here, because it's a gate, according to what List has divined of the immediate area. You pull open the front passenger side. Takes a little bit of strength and creak against grinding of metal against rust. And then you push, and there's a whiff of cool kind of that oily chemical, oh, this is a car sort of thing odor. And then you tumble through. Large as you are, it seems more than spacious enough to accommodate your bulk, and you're kind of sitting on your ass in the reel. The rest of you feel... Say?
In a broken down car?
Yeah. Well, outside a broken down car.
Okay.
And the rest of you feel Phage just kind of vanish, and she's on the other side, and there's probably 30 seconds before that gate closes.
Going.
Let's go.
Go.
All right. So everybody, one after another, tumbles through. And you guys are coming out just off of Wilkins Avenue in Lower Gwyn's Falls. And that's where we're going to take a break for a minute.
Let me do that real quick.
And we will see all of you in just a bit.
and sound, hopefully working.
Hey, we're back. We assume. Probably.
Yeah, we're back.
Cool. We're going even if we're not. All right. So, having stumbled back out of the hedge after having followed for quite a bit the potential trail of the green wall or significant numbers of it, you guys have blitzed back into the reel just off of Wilkins Avenue in a slightly forested area through a through the rusted hulk of a late 90s Civic, and you guys are coming out and looking around. You look up the road, you look down the road. To your left, towards the northeast, it's mostly just trees and road. Towards your right, southwest, is a storage facility, which is apparently directly adjacent to where this gate exits the hedge.
The path was going southwest. The point at the storage facility.
Yeah, that seems like a good place for
I'm just gonna pull out my phone.
I am completely blanking on the term that Changeling.
Actually, never mind. I've got a flip phone, and also Mira wouldn't know to do that. Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm gonna look for cross street signs.
Hollow, that was the word.
Yeah.
That seems like a good place for a hollow, yeah.
Adele pulls out her phone and does the same, Mira.
Oh, Adele actually uses Google Maps to figure out where we are.
Yeah, you are along Wilkins Avenue in between Caton and DeSoto Road.
Okay.
And pretty much the only thing there is a storage facility.
Does it have a business page? Does it have one of those half-filled-in business pages?
Totally does. PrimeStorageGroup.com.
Helpful.
Definitely looks like a corporate page that was made by somebody who was underpaid and had access to WordPress themes.
Yep. Good.
It's not as bad as, what was the one we found that one time? The art museum.
Oh, the Great Blacks in Wax in Baltimore?
Yep. That one.
Oh my god. You reminded me of that museum.
Oh.
African American cultural history is very important.
It
That
is.
Yes, it
web
is.
design is awful.
Yes.
Yes, the National Great Blacks in Wax Museum. Thank you, Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Mm.
since I am not qualified to comment on that in one little bit, we are going to proceed towards the actual narrative transpiring currently.
Sorry.
There.
All right.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of storage units down the road from you, about 30 seconds walk.
That definitely seems like a place for a hollow, yeah.
Adele agrees.
So what do we do?
No,
Are we prepared for a potential fight if the Green Wall are actively there right now?
I have 2 guns.
You point, I shoot.
Lark will pull out her gun.
So we're knocking over a storage facility? Excellent. Adele stubs out her cigarette on the shoulder of the road and pulls out her switchblade.
Bear in mind, we're here to investigate. We're not looking for a fight.
That's kind of the statement I was trying to make.
Everybody got a piece on.
We're not looking for a fight. But if they're there, a fight might break out.
We have to make sure we get them out, too.
Yes, there's people that we need to find. If they're still around, if this is their hollow and our missing changelings are inside, we need to get them out. That's priority number 1. But right now we need reconnaissance.
All right. So let's reconnaissance. Mira?
I can go in there not looking like myself, if we're hoping to raise less specific alarm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. We need to figure out which one of those they're in.
But I am a little unclear on... Yeah. That would be...
Well, what we need to do is find out if this storage facility is their hollow, if it is, if any of our changelings are inside, and if any of them are here. Those are the 3 facts we need to find out about this place.
Does anyone have abilities particularly inclined to allow them to determine those things?
I can open locks.
That's probably a safer bet versus what I can do with doors, which is rip them down.
That's loud.
Yes.
I can pretend to be someone important quite convincingly. Or maybe. Jack, can you look up the actual roll I need to make for the 1-dot Vanglory thing? I can't find it just because the PDF is lagging.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Mask of superiority. Weird, intimidation. Minus the target's resolve.
I have a daughter doing intimidation. Yeah, I can do that reasonably well. I can also use the contracts of mirror that basically allow me to just be like, this is a different mask, or not mask, meme.
Yeah.
Look like a different kith, essentially, stuff like that. So I could go that route. We could find a lock and break it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we proved that this group, by and large, has some stealthy people and some not stealthy people. So we can't all go in if it's a stealth route.
No, if it's stealth, there's a couple of us, myself included, who are best inclined to not go.
Yeah, if we want to actually allow people to stealth.
I'm very good at stealthing.
Finding out a target. Sneaking around is great once we know where we need to go.
Yeah.
Adele will put in.
Agreed. But I'm thinking about checking the roof.
Why? What's on the roof?
We don't know yet, but I can find out.
Roof access.
Just because it's a roof doesn't mean there's something there.
Well, roofs have vantage points and potentially access points.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to be a quick check. I'll contact you if anything.
Alright. Actually, thinking about vantage points and access points.
Now, what kind of storage facility are we talking? Are we talking like rows of standing individual storage units, or one large building with a bunch of storage units inside?
That's a good question.
It's kind of the pole building rows with all the little garage doors down each avenue.
Yeah, so it's the rows of storage.
Yeah,
buildings.
Yeah, that one.
Individual storage.
Right, yeah. Exterior access,
Got it.
but all, in a secured yard kind of thing.
Yeah, in like a big fenced off yard. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Office building, obviously, towards the front, etc.
Which means if they do have a hollow, it'll probably be one of the individual storage units.
Does it look open? Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's business hours. It's
Okay.
business hours today. Yep.
Okay, cool.
GM, 3 questions. 1, can changelings kind of sense when they're near a hollow?
Occasionally. Hollows have doors to them that function more or less along the same lines as a gate.
Right.
If your clarity is, I believe, 6 or above,
Okay.
you can do a kenning, which basically means either you spend a willpower or I roll your weird, and you can determine, basically, does my detect magic go off?
So everyone else could detect magic the door, I can't. Got it.
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact.
I spent my clarity for XP because I came in season 2. Second question. Does the keyhold keep track of where hollows are?
Not officially.
Okay.
Location of hollows is definitely something that the Autumn Court particularly would be interested in trying to keep a record of, but it's not like I want a hollow, so I need to go get a permit from the Autumn Court so that they know where it is. And that sort of thing is kind of antithetical to most changelings' perspectives of the world.
Winter would riot.
Excuse me, we need to take an inventory of where everybody's personal secret hideouts are. So just line up and let us know.
Yeah, we find ours.
Winter is just crickets.
Right. Pretty much.
Yeah. And third sort of question would be, do these seem like lock-pickable facilities? And if it's a lock-pickable facility, and we're trying to not get into the terrestrial space, but the metaphysical space of the hollow, does that even apply? I think that made sense. Jack,
you muted yourself.
You're not really close enough to see what sort of security they have in place from the mundane business running side of things yet. If you're trying to get into a hollow, I mean, the door needs to be open. Like, a physical barrier is still a physical barrier, but getting that open does not necessarily get you access to the hollow.
Yeah.
Having it closed, however, does definitely prevent access to the hollow. If that's what you're asking.
If there's a hollow there, to my memory, there would also be a mundane space overlaid with it. Like, the inside of the storage unit would also still exist.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so unlocking the door would get you access to the inside of the storage unit, and also have the door in a state, most likely, where you can also now try and get into the hollow, but you're not in yet.
Well, if it's business hours, Adele, do you want to see if maybe the bar could use some extra storage space? Maybe find out which of these storage spaces are already being rented?
Yes, I suppose that's one way we could.
How big is it? Like, how many units can we tell?
Give me wits and composure.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be... Couldn't we ask Drummond?
Oh, no, there's a point, actually. Is Drummond nearby? Well, it's like, I don't know how I could spot a raven.
But...
I don't know how I'd spot a raven in the middle of the sky, but...
Liz, you're looking at it. It looks like there's at least 50 or so, probably.
Okay.
Of varying sizes.
But not much more than that. I'm just trying to gauge how big it is.
Not significantly more than that, no.
Okay.
His group might be able to watch this place with a little less alarm being raised by it.
Potentially, but we are on a time crunch.
Okay.
I mean, if anybody can get Drummond here, it's probably Lark. Because I think Lark can talk to birds and birds can go find other birds.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where it was, but I actually asked Drummond to keep an eye on a spot around here because we knew that the Greenwall were in this area.
Yeah, he was up by the park.
Okay. So yeah, Mira will communicate that Drummond was willing to put some people at the parkish area.
Are there any birds around currently?
There are, yeah, no. Just looking around, you can definitely see a number of birds. Sparrows in the parking lot, other things nearby in trees, etc. So yeah.
Any of the Ravens of Baltimore?
They're mostly down at M&T Stadium, but but yeah, no. If Lark, if you wanted to try and call in,
yeah, she's gonna try to communicate to see if they can get Drummond.
Okay. That would be Tongues of Birds and Wolves, Words of Wolves. First dot of Fang and Talon. Weird and Animal Ken, are you going to try and meet the catch so that you don't have to spend glamour?
Yes.
Okay. The catch is basically you give the animal a new name.
What are you going to name this random bird that you see?
Oh gosh. What kind of bird is it?
At this point, probably the closest thing to you is probably just a house sparrow.
Okay. I'll name him, I don't know, Wingy.
Wingy.
Awesome. Give me a weird and animal Ken roll then.
Okay. 3 successes.
Hey.
Nice.
Wingy it is.
Yep.
All right. So, Lark, you look around for a minute. You see this sparrow over there, and the rest of you watch as she just opens her mouth, and with a brief chirp, suddenly the sparrow looks up, and straight up Disney princesses right over to her fingers. Yes, I'm here. Yes. What? Yes.
I need you to find a friend of mine.
Friend. Find friends. Find friends. Find
Yes.
friends. I have friends. Friends.
No,
Friends.
no. I need you to find a raven named Drummond.
Raven. Find Raven.
Named Drummond.
Drummond.
Yes.
Drummond is a raven.
Okay, do you know where he is?
You were told he was up by the park where you guys had been searching for Kalanag's murder scene.
Okay. What's the name of that park?
That is Lower Gwynns Falls Park.
Say that like it. You say that like the bird will know the name of the
Birds aren't good at words.
Right.
They don't read signs.
Right.
The park in that direction.
Okay, she'll point in the direction. Go to the park, find the raven.
Park Raven, find Drummond. Friends?
Tell him to come, that Lark says he needs to come here to help them.
Lark comes here. Lark comes here.
Close enough. No. Come here to this location.
Drummond comes here. For Lark.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Bread?
Okay, go. I have
Bread?
no bread. I have no bread.
I have bread.
Does someone, okay.
I always have bread.
Phage,
I always have something.
Can I have some bread, please, Phage?
I give bread.
Okay, she will give the bird bread. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And he's gone.
I hope this works.
Let's see.
Time to roll dice.
I love Animal. Talking to Animal abilities so much. They're so much fun.
let's see how this one does. Because survival is pretty good. Intelligence, not so much.
Have you made a random bird character sheet? Oh my
One
god.
success.
Yes.
So, after about half an hour of you guys just kind of waiting, there's eventually overhead, and you see a large raven circle and then come down. I heard I was needed.
Drummond, it's good to see you.
Phage, Miss Lark. A very energetic sparrow said you guys were down this way. It took me a little while to actually parse his communication, but so yeah, what's up?
Well, we think we might, keyword here being might, but we have a strong suspicion that we might have found the potential hollow of the green wall, I say, indicating to the storage facility.
Huh.
The folks that took Nero.
Right. Yes, no, the kidnapping gang of fuckwads. Right. So,
do you happen to have any information on this place or any idea?
Not currently. I can go see if there's anything active from, my angle. Yeah, let me, I'll go give it a look if you want. And then what? You guys are going to go in there and put the screws on people, I think, as they say.
If we can find out that our friends are in there, absolutely.
The hope is that we can determine where in there specifically they are, and whether or not their captors are around.
Right. Okay. Well, let me go have a look, and I'll let you know what I can find. And he takes off. Now, are you guys making any moves currently, or are you just waiting for him to come back?
The only idea I've got is a way to get in is to see about renting storage space, but that'll have to wait until we have a better idea. Anyone else have any plans?
Like I said, I can perform. Unfortunately, these days, if you go to somewhere and claim to be an important person, the instinct is, let me just call. Not, I'll figure it out later or leave a note in the books.
I'm gonna try and get the car moving again.
Wait, what?
No, wait. We left we came out through a car.
Yes.
That car is in the same place in 2 dimensions. Moving it is probably not really what we need to be doing.
Also, it has no tires.
Okay.
Also, it has no tires.
Is the engine block still there?
It is not.
Dang it.
And no
okay.
engine.
It is basically gutted.
Oh, right.
It is a chassis.
Would you like to see what the glove box is like on this side?
Is it already opened?
It is.
I'm curious. Okay, I open it and look inside.
No, it's like hanging open.
Okay.
And there's a couple wires poking out from where somebody yanked some electronics out of there or something.
Yeah. Okay. There's nothing in there. Huh.
Check the wheel wells for drugs, says Adele.
I'll do that, sure.
Give me an intelligence and investigation.
Yeah.
Speaking of this car, do we want to try and figure out what those items do?
Yeah, if we got a few minutes to wait, I will start too. Let's Let's not stare down a gun in the middle of a public space. Let's look at that nickel first.
Yeah.
Okay. As I hand it over as I'm looking.
Yeah.
First wheel well, reach up inside, nothing. Second one, still nothing. Third one, reach out. Oh, hey, what's
What's that?
it's a piece of chalk, like a nice sized piece of sidewalk chalk, pink.
Ooh, that's useful. I will take that. Yes.
Yep. And fourth one, reach inside. You find an interesting shaped rock.
Ooh.
It's kind of crescenty with a little bit of a fracture on one end.
I'll take it. Yeah.
That's all you find, though.
Okay.
I'm actually going to look up to see if I can find any information on ratchet repairs.
Okay, so yeah, you're Googling. It turns out that it's apparently the phone number doesn't match. You find a ratchet repairs, but it's not in Baltimore.
Okay.
And yeah, but you can't find anything local
Okay.
for that one.
Can I try to see if I can track the area code of the phone number?
The area code is definitely Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay.
Or something nearby. 410 is, but 410 is definitely an eastern half of the state, Maryland area code.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of your Baltimore phone numbers will start with that.
Wonder if there's anybody I know that can probably figure out whose phone number this belongs to.
What is it? Maybe we can help.
I found this in a phone book when we were down at the hedge. Down in the hedge.
And Drummond is back.
Find anything interesting?
Well, it's not exactly conclusive and not terribly specific, but so you've got the storage bits in there, plenty of buildings in rows. There's the main parking area near the front building where the workers all are, I assume. And then you've got a little back area parking lot, not really for any of the rows of storage in particular, but there's a very familiar sounding white van parked back there.
Well,
It's on?
did you manage to get any other details of the van?
It's got doors and wheels and a license plate, but
Running?
no, nobody's near it. But it matches the descriptions that my gang has.
Did you check the number on the license plate?
I don't think the Ravens that he had spoken to knew the number because they're not good at reading.
And I've got about I'm good with numbers. Letters are a little.
Okay.
Because
But
numbers, you guys use 10 of those, and the number letters, you guys have way more unnecessary
24.
one. That's more than 10 and unnecessary. Anyway.
But knowing that it's there solidifies our assumption that this is probably the place and gives us somewhere to start looking or thinking about looking.
And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Okay, say goodbye,
Say
everybody.
goodnight. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And we should be going out. Again, the stream may take a second to catch up.
Cool. And